It's time to fire this thing up.
Welcome aboard ShipShape TV Essentials. This is your port of call for the most impactful upgrades, expert advice, and hands-on solutions from seasons past. This episode is proudly brought to you by SureHold, because anything worth doing is worth doing bright. From cleaning to protecting and perfecting, SureHold has everything you need to keep your boat shining. Don't just go boating, go showboating. Now, let's hoist anchor and set a course for another exciting episode of ShipShape TV Essentials.
If boating's your game, then you agree. ShipShape is the way to be. Out on the lake or on the sea, ShipShape means trouble-free. ShipShape means being neater. ShipShape makes boat work easier. ShipShape is the way to go. The ShipShape Boat Care Show.
Thanks again for tuning in to ShipShape TV. I'm your host, John Greviskis, and the next half hour is dedicated to improving your boat. Today we're going to be showing you how to rebuild the wheel bearings on a boat trailer, as well as inspect the rims, hubs, and tires. We'll be troubleshooting the trailer lights, as well as speccing out a new boat on a segment we call What's Hot on the Water. Stick around, I know you'll learn something.
ShipShape, America's favorite boat improvement show, is being brought to you in part by Boat-O-Rama, the Robin Hood of the boating business. And by Inflatable Experts, Florida's inflatable superstore. And by RPM Diesel Engine Company, so much more than an engine company. We now return to ShipShape TV.
Welcome back to the show. Today we're going to show you just how simple and necessary it is to occasionally rebuild the boat trailer, especially if you use it around a saltwater environment. And with us again today is ShipShape's own master marine craftsman, Nick Scafidi, to get us started.
Thanks, John. As you know, the trailer is a vital part of boating. Most people don't take the time to either repair or inspect their trailer until something catastrophic happens, such as a tire falling off, an axle breaking, or total failure. But before we get into showing you how to rebuild our trailer today, let me give you a checklist of some things you want to check each time you hook the trailer to your truck and go boating. First, every time you use the boat, look for tire dry rot and check the air pressure. Secondly, visually inspect the bearings and rims. This is what I'm referring to here. This indicates a loose wheel bearing. It needs to be dealt with, and if your trailer has springs, check for excessive rust. Look at the eye bolts and check for excessive wear. And finally, you want to check your lights for safety.
When checking your trailer lights, it's best to have your trailer hooked up to your tow vehicle. Get a friend to help you spot. While you're behind the wheel, you want him to see if your brake lights, running lights, and turn signals are working. If they're not, we're going to show you how to troubleshoot them right after we take a peek at this new boat. Let's have a look. Today on What's Hot on the Water, we're going to extend our trophy series to Trophy Month. And what that means is for the past 4 weeks, we've been talking about the Bayliner Trophy series with our good friend Carlos Ruiz of Boat-O-Rama.
How you doing, John?
I'm doing great. Carlos, we started out on the 2503, nice 25-foot fishing boat. And then we went over to the 1903, which is just a smaller version of the 25. Then we went to the 1802. Now today we're going to look at the 2352, which is a little bit different.
Right. What we're doing is Trophy Month. This is Trophy Month.
You know, you can put a trophy on your wall at Boat-O-Rama, but they just use a seawall instead of like a mantle or a wall. And I really like it. This boat is worthy of having in your possession. This is a nice boat. Tell us about the 2352.
2352 is an inboard, outboard version. Mercruiser.
Okay, the Alpha 1, right?
Alpha 1, 4.3 V6, 180 horsepower.
A lot of fuel economy with this boat. You can run this boat all day long and you're barely burning any fuel.
Of course.
A lot of guys like that. They like the economy of an IO. we've been talking about these free T-tops and all of that. Are we going to continue it?
We're not going to stop. This is Boat-O-Rama. People coming over and said, is it true? We had good response on the T-tops, free T-tops, and we're not going to stop this week.
We've been telling people that guys go out and they buy a boat and they can't afford a T-top. No longer.
No longer.
Boat-O-Rama is not going to tolerate that. You go out and you buy a boat, you come to Boat-O-Rama and buy a boat, and you're going to get that free T-top thrown into the deal. But are we going to get a legitimate good price to begin with? What are we talking about on this boat?
This boat, $29,995. A 23-foot trophy walk around, nice cabin.
Unbelievable. In that cabin, you've got a porta potty, you've got a sink. You can sleep 2 adults, kids in the aft cabin. This is a great boat to come down and touch, feel, and experience. You know, last week I was telling you about that blackfin tuna I caught off of the Bayliner Trophy. It was the 25, and let me tell you guys, I think it's the boat. I'm just kidding. But seriously,
Don't put me in a
Carlos,
spot.
I love this. Let's talk about how we can come down to Boat-O-Rama for ourselves and experience this boat. How do we get to a Boat-O-Rama?
Okay, Biscayne and 135th Street, North Miami. That's our...
You're right on the water. If you're taking 95, you go to 135th, you take it all the way east, and bam, you dead end.
Boat-O-Rama.
There you are, right on the water. You also have a Fort Lauderdale location.
441 between Griffin and 84th. That's where I am.
That's on the water as well. Absolutely, with that Dania cutoff canal. You're
That's
right
it.
there, unbelievable. And then you have a Pompano location.
Opens Wednesdays and Thursdays to 8 o'clock.
That is nice. So that accommodates the working guy. And if you're out and you work until 6, 7, you still have time to drive to the Pompano store, which is on Copens and Federal, a little north of Copens.
Little north of Copens.
And come by and see this boat, you know, if you want to do that. And then you have the big South Palm Beach store.
That's our newest location. We just purchased Palm Beach at Center.
Hypoluxo, Federal
Highway.
I love it. Again, to recap, we talked about the 25-foot Bayliner Trophy,
1903.
the 1802.
2352.
Next week, we've really got something special.
We got a surprise for you next week.
We're going to show you the sneak preview of the 28-foot Trophy Series. Carlos, we'll see you next week.
See you next week, John.
Take care.
That boat looks great, John. How do you keep finding these great deals?
Well, it takes practice, Nick. You know, not only is boating a great family fun, a time to stay together, but with deals like that, it makes it affordable. And we're having a bunch of fun today as well, working around this boat trailer. Nick, tell us how we're going to troubleshoot these lights.
Sure thing, John. What we have here is our flat 4 wire plug. These 3 wires control the lights. The 4th wire is the ground. It's normally white. We want to first check this ground wire for a good connection. This one looks fine. We'll then take a test light. We're going to check our running lights. We'll probe the brown wire here and look for 12 volts. If the light in our test light is dim, that's an indication of not enough amperage coming through the wire, and that wire may need to be replaced. Check our brown wire or running lights as we work our way back. As you can see, we have power. We would follow the brown wire back to the light. We're checking for voltage at the back of the light, and we have it. If at this point your light is still not lit, we would remove the lens cover and check for power at the light socket. We want to remove our light cover in order to inspect the bulb socket. Check behind the bulb for 12 volts. The socket is the most common area of corrosion. If corrosion is present, it's best to change the whole light. If your bulb is still not lit, it's a bad bulb.
Great stuff, Nick. But right now, we need to hear a word from our sponsors, so please, stay with us.
ShipShape TV will be right back. Timothy Drexel of West Palm Beach, Florida asks, what is the difference between commercial and recreational policies? Answer coming up from maritime attorney Gail Hawks right after these messages.
The SureHold One Bucket system is your storage and detailing solution. Featuring an ergonomic corrosion-free rope handle, a bucket caddy to organize your supplies and lift them out with ease, a bucket grate to elevate your wash tools out of dirty water with integrated soap measuring cups, a bucket base that won't let your bucket scratch, tip, or slip, and a bucket lid that keeps tools secure and doubles as a comfortable seat. The SureHold One Bucket System, the world's best rope handle 5-gallon bucket. SureHold, clean and simple.
Here is today's maritime law question. What is the difference between commercial and recreational policies?
The first thing to understand is that marine insurance is indemnity insurance. That means that the boat owner must pay for the repairs or pay for the loss first and then be reimbursed or indemnified by the insurance company. A lot of boat owners don't understand that. Secondly, pleasure boat policies don't necessarily cover certain things, such as the hiring of a crew member or a mate, the hiring of people around the docks to do work on the boat. Finally, most policies have navigational limits, and if a boat owner goes beyond those navigational limits, the policy coverage is suspended until he comes back into those limits.
If you have a question for maritime attorney Gail Hawks, leave it with the ShipShape TV memo board on the World Wide Web, www.spectacular.com/ShipShapeTV.
If you own a boat or are in the process of purchasing one, there are many instances when you may need a maritime attorney. My name is Gail Hawks, and I handle cases involving personal injury, collision, insurance coverage, repairs, vessel documentation, and other maritime matters.
When you need a maritime attorney, call the law offices of Gail Hawks, 305-666-8040, or toll free at 800-490-8275.
And now back to the project.
Welcome back to the show. We've been showing you how to rebuild the trailer today on ShipShape TV, and we left off before the break with Nick giving us some troubleshooting techniques on the trailer lights. Now, Nick, you told us what the brown wire and the white wire is for. Can you give us a heads up on the green and yellow?
Well, John, the yellow and green wires have two functions. The first is turn signals. The green wire operates the right turn signal, and the yellow operates the left. Together, they work our brake lights.
Tons of boaters have asked us how to extend the life of their trailer lights. Let's take a closer look at how this is done. The first step I'd like to share with you is a little trick to extend your trailer lights. And what you want to do is, before you get to the boat ramp and you back your trailer in the water, unplug your flat fork. The reason you want to do this is the salt in the saltwater acts as a conductor, and when you've got 12 volts of electricity pouring through that, you're going to cause something called electrolysis. You might notice on your socket and on your bulb some green condition, a green color. Well, this is electrolysis in the making, and by unplugging your flat fork, you're not going to have that current going through. Secondly, let me show you something else. Here's another tip in keeping your trailer lights burning a little bit longer. Take the bulb out of the socket and put some insulating grease on it or Vaseline and coat it all the way around your light, and then put it back in your socket. That's going to add quite a bit of life to your light. That's how easy it is to keep your trailer lights burning.
Now that we know how to properly troubleshoot our trailer wiring and preserve our trailer lights, let's take a minute and look at our next big trailer woe, wheel bearings. Let's rebuild this hub. Let's start with jacking up the trailer so we can remove the lug nuts and take off the tire. Take this time and visually inspect your rims. Look for thinning in the rims in this area between the lug nuts. As you can see here, this rim is rotted out, should not be used. Discard it. Now we'll remove the bearing cap or bearing buddy to expose our cotter pin. Remove the cotter pin and loosen the axle nut. Once the axle nut is off, wiggle and pull on the hub to remove it from the axle. Save the washer and axle nut for reassembly. Remove the old bearings and discard. Remove the grease seal and back bearing also. Wipe out any excess grease and remove the bearing races. There's one, and the other. We're now ready to install the new races and bearings. We're going to tap the races in from the top until they're properly seated. Now we're ready to install the grease seal. Tap the grease seal flush with the outside of the hub. When packing your bearings, it's best to do this with a synthetic grease. The reason I like synthetic wheel bearing grease is that with the salt water, it won't wash away. The packing of the bearing is very important. Apply a liberal amount of grease into the palm of your hand, take the bearing and use it as a scoop to work the grease in. Once full, place the bearing in the hub. Clean the axle before installing the hub. You want to check the seal surface for any grooves. If you have a grooved area, you can install either a Z-ring or a Spindo seal to clean this up.
Here's what's coming up next on ShipShape TV.
When you seriously want your expensive wax and buffing pads rejuvenated to a like-new condition, you seriously want Sure-Hold Industries Serious Pad Cleaner. Scientifically formulated to quickly dissolve compounds and waxes from all wool pads, foam pads, microfiber towels, cotton bonnets, even blended buffing pads. All it takes is adding this Serious Pad Cleaner powder to your arsenal. Serious Pad Cleaner, another answer from Sure-Hold Industries' clean and simple solutions for detailing all your toys.
If you have a marine-related business, put your advertising message right here in front of over 5 million homes in Florida. For advertising rate information, call area code 561-626-1439. We now return to ShipShape.
Welcome back to the show. We left off before the break with Nick cleaning our axle, preparing it for the hub. Nick?
Thanks, John. Looks like we're ready to install the hub. Before installing the hub, make sure we have adequate grease inside. Slide it over the axle and install our nut and washer. This next procedure can be a little bit tricky. When tightening the nut, be sure that we don't over-tighten it. At the same time, we want the proper amount of drag onto the bearings. Tighten the nut, spin the hub, and tighten it again. When it's too tight that you can no longer turn it, back off the nut a little bit, be sure it turns, and install the cotter pin. Be sure to bend the cotter pin and tap into place prior to installing the dust cap. Tap the dust cap in until firmly seated. We're now ready to install our new tire and rim.
I'd like to show you some of the latest designs in boat trailers. We're invited to a factory tour here at Flodon. Let's have a look. Well, here we are at the headquarters in Fort Pierce, Florida at Flodon Trailer, and our guide today is the president and CEO, Ralph Poppel. Ralph, I was wondering why there aren't any springs on your trailers. You use torsion bars.
John, we do use torsion bar. Most people don't realize that 95% of the life of their boat is sitting on a trailer, not in the water. It's very important that you get a smooth ride from on the rough roads that we have to deal with. Leaf springs have a lot of movement. They wear out quicker. Torsion is a smoother ride, stronger frame, longer lasting, lower profile. And so we developed this 30 years ago for this. It works great.
What kind of brakes do you use?
Our brake system is a combination of bronze and stainless. We use aluminum caliper, but we use bronze pistons in all of our brakes. We use stainless rotors on all of our brakes.
Ralph, I noticed that you don't have a winch or a cable on this trailer. What's going on?
The Ponzi latch system was something else that's a patented system by Flodon. You mount the Ponzi latch to the bow of the boat, either in place of or just on top of the winching eye. When the boat comes on, it comes between your rear guides and then hits your center guides, and this centers the boat, and just in time to catch that bow stop bar. When you feel this latch, you can kill the engine, raise your out drive, have your buddy pull you out on dry land. It's just that fast and just that simple.
Ralph, are you going to be at the Miami Boat Show this year?
Yes, we'll be at the Miami Boat Show, and we're going to have product underneath quite a few of the dealers and the OEM manufacturers' boats at the show, and we'd appreciate anyone stopping by, asking questions, and talking to us about our product.
Well, you know, we're going to be there as well, and I'd like to invite you, as well as our audience, to stop on by this weekend. We've got a booth on the main convention floor, right by the rear, and we're giving away a bunch of prizes, so make sure you come on by. Right now, we've got a couple of minutes left, so let's turn it over and answer some of your internet questions.
And now here's some answers to the questions you left on our internet site.
Our first question comes from the ShipShape TV website. It's written by Like to Know, who writes, I recently bought a boat and the transom rotted out along with the floor of the boat. The boat is approximately 18 feet long and is a tri-hull. It is 15 years old and the fiberglass is in good shape. He asks, is the boat worth repairing if he does the work himself? And does he have to take the boat apart to replace the floor and transom? Wow, good question, Like to Know. Big project. Let me ask you a question first. How much did you pay for the boat? That's going to be a factor as to whether or not it's worth putting the extra money into it. Typically, a boat this old with rotten transom and decks isn't worth the repair. If it were a Donzi or a Glastron or possibly a classic boat that's going to hold some value at the end of the repair, another issue. Your second part of your question is whether or not you need to take the boat apart to replace the rotten wood in the transom. What I would do is I'd go from the transom about 3 to 4 feet forward along the cap, cut the cap, and remove the cap and motor well off in one piece. That's going to give you access into the transom area. Grind out all your old rotten wood, replace it with a marine grade plywood, and then cover it with a good maybe woven or heavy fiberglass. Good luck.
Like to Know, we're going to be doing this very episode in the next couple of months. We're going to be taking a deck and replacing it on a boat, so make sure that you stay tuned into ShipShape TV. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them down and send them to us. Until next week, guys, keep your boat ship-shape.
If boating's your game, then you'll agree. Ship-shape is the way to be.
And remove the bearing
races.
races.
Or on the sea. Ship-shape
And remove the bearing races. And remove the bearing races. That sucker's in there.
Ship-shape makes boat work easier.
And remove the bearing
Ship-shape
races.
is the way to go. The Ship-shape Boat Care Show.
Go ahead. It broke out.
Nick, show us how to troubleshoot these trailer lights.
Right.